The government shutdown is a critical moment in U.S. politics, with implications for millions of Americans and the nation's economy. As the Senate prepares to vote on a GOP funding bill before a looming deadline, the stakes are high, and the debate over how to avert the shutdown has become a focal point of national discussion. Here's where it gets controversial. The potential fallout from a shutdown could reshape federal employment, healthcare access, and even diplomatic relations, with some arguing that the administration's actions are a calculated move to test political will, while others see it as a desperate attempt to avoid economic consequences. A shutdown's financial impact. The Congressional Budget Office, CBO, estimates that up to 750,000 federal employees could be furloughed, with daily costs reaching $400 million. These layoffs would not only disrupt payroll but also strain public services, as agencies like the Department of Defense and Treasury would face reduced operations. Critics argue that the CBO's projections are overly optimistic, noting that agency decisions to furlough or reinstate employees could vary daily. For instance, some departments might prioritize retaining staff during a prolonged shutdown, while others could reverse earlier layoffs. This uncertainty underscores the complexity of managing a shutdown, with experts warning that prolonged closures could lead to long-term economic losses, such as a $3 billion shortfall in 2018 to 2019. Healthcare subsidies and political tensions. A central controversy revolves around the Affordable Care Act, ACA's enhanced premium tax credit, which supports 22 million Americans by lowering health insurance costs. If this credit expires in 2025, it could force millions to pay higher premiums, sparking outrage among Democrats who are pushing for a funding bill to extend the credit. Meanwhile, Republicans argue that the current budget process is too partisan, with the Senate's bipartisan CR, continuing resolution, being a nonpartisan solution. However, the White House's stance on this issue remains unclear, with some officials emphasizing the need for immediate action to prevent a shutdown. Political backroom deals and public outcry. The shutdown's outcome hinges on negotiations between the House and Senate, with lawmakers facing pressure to act quickly. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries has called the situation a fight until we win, urging Democrats to prioritize healthcare reform while avoiding partisan tactics. Meanwhile, President Trump's recent post of a fake AI-generated video mocking Democratic leaders has fueled accusations of hypocrisy, with critics labeling it disgusting. The video, which shows Schumer and Jeffries standing outside the White House while splicing in fake audio of Schumer accusing Democrats of targeting illegal aliens, highlights the growing divide between parties. Military and civilian consequences. The shutdown would also affect the military, as active duty personnel and National Guard members would be forced to continue their duties with delayed pay. Civilian employees, particularly those in essential roles, would remain on duty, while others would be furloughed. Experts warn that a prolonged shutdown could strain the Department of Defense's readiness, as agencies scramble to maintain operations. Meanwhile, the Social Security Administration and IRS have already outlined plans for furloughs, with the latter reporting zero layoffs due to the shutdown. Public reaction and future outlook. Public sentiment is divided, with some viewing the shutdown as a necessary measure to protect the government's stability, while others see it as a political maneuver to test the resilience of the nation's institutions. As the Senate debates a House-passed bill to fund the government until November 21st, the outcome will determine whether the shutdown is averted or becomes a permanent fixture of U.S. policy. Whether the administration's actions are seen as a strategic move or a reckless gamble remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: the debate over the shutdown will continue to shape the nation's political landscape.